When you think about a mall, its success is often measured in the number of stores there, and in turn, the success of those stores at the mall. If they're doing poorly, well, they close down. And the more they close, the worse the perception of the health of the prosperity of that mall. So let's use the same thing when we think about downtown Portland. It's obviously on a much larger scale than our mall example, but the theme does hold true. The more businesses that thrive there, the better. On the flip side, the more that suffer, the worse. It's not a good sign. And that brings us to downtown Portland and the latest bombshell announcement this week. REI wrote in an email to customers that its store in the Pearl District will close when its lease is up at the end of February next year. It's the only REI store in city limits, and it's been serving folks for nearly 2 decades. The company said last year, even with increased security, they dealt with the highest number of break-ins and thefts since they've opened the place. They also said they've outgrown the current space and can't reach a deal with the landlord to address the issues, so they're moving out. Now, in fairness, it's not entirely because of crime and safety due to the issues they're having with the landlord, but in their statement to customers and the media, the break-ins and theft, those were mentioned before the landlord drama, so that's certainly a huge part of the decision. We heard from a marketing professor at PSU who says the REI announcement will also be a big factor for other retail stores who are thinking about choosing downtown as their next location.
So you're really betting on the future when you invest into a new retail store. So what this is really sending a message to all of us in Portland that Portland looks not as attractive as we have in the past.
So that's not great. We also heard from a nearby business last night, which echoes a theme that we often hear from you when we talk about downtown Portland.
Whether you're very conservative or very liberal, at some point everybody just gets fed up. At some point they're going to hit a wall and they're like, we're going to have to do something, right? You know, it's going to reach a fever pitch and it's just, you got to do something about it.
Hopefully. So what is being done about it? Well, Mayor Wheeler's office sent us a statement yesterday that says his staff and Portland police leadership have met with REI officials over several months, that they've tried to collaborate to lessen the crime in and around the store. And the statement ended with this: Mayor Wheeler is committed to further supporting REI to help ensure we retain their business in Portland and help them succeed. All options are on the table as we explore paths forward. Seems a little bit late to be putting those options on the table now. And we heard from several of you yesterday fed up with city leadership and the exodus of big business.
Let's talk about REI and REI pulling the plug out of Portland. Yeah, this is a travesty. Our mayor has done nothing. His response to everything is, we've been working with them. What have you been doing? What have you been working? I mean, working is one thing, but getting results is another. I've seen nothing from him, nothing. All these businesses are folding up, leaving, moving on, and just plain going out of business. And he has done not one thing to help prevent this from happening. He's making the problem worse. So that's just my opinion. Have a good day.
Thanks, Eric. And I can feel the frustration there, and I know a lot of you share that. Kathy says, what will it take for our elected officials to take concrete action to improve downtown and bring back a vital city I moved to in 1999? We can't wait several years to see results. Something needs to change right now. And Mike chimed in. Another one bites the dust. Call attention to the impact the lack of action on the part of our city leaders is having on the downtown community. Instead of improving, things just seem to be getting worse. I expect this is not the last we will hear of businesses leaving the Pearl and Portland. Back at REI, it's worth noting that the message on the store window feels a little bit different now than its original purpose. The message says it's better out there, meaning, of course, the outdoors. Now for REI leadership, that seems to mean outside of Portland. And to hammer home this theme for you, there is a business that has decided to open a new location in Portland this month. Shake Shack already has a location in Cedar Hills area of Beaverton, but this spot along West Burnside across from Powell's Books is set to open next Monday. Burgers, fries, shakes, all of it. Pretty exciting, right? Well, someone doesn't think so. Last night our crew noticed there's already a window boarded up at the restaurant before it's even opened. Today, police told us it happened earlier this week, and whoever broke in wasn't looking for a burger since they didn't actually go inside. They just busted the window and moved along. Well, Shake Shack, to use a play on a phrase from Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, you're not in Cedar Hills anymore. welcome to downtown Portland. You haven't served a single burger or unlocked the door yet, and you already have plywood decorations out front. I'm sorry that happened to you. And it's not just businesses feeling the brunt of downtown's woes. The perception/reality of what goes on here is hurting a lot of organizations. Arts organizations say they're struggling to make it. We contacted several performance companies in Portland. They tell us the pandemic was one thing, it shut them down and they couldn't put on their performances. But while some have bounced back a bit, they now tell us that overall their audience numbers are declining and it's threatening their future in Portland.
The greatest threat to the Oregon Symphony today is in fact the perception that downtown is unsafe. It's the number one reason by far of people holding back from coming to live performances.
So at that point you start to say, well, this is it going to ever surmise to the old days, so to speak, whatever that might be. It was always difficult to produce the arts, but now we're in a whole new realm of challenges and difficulties.
And we're working on a larger story for next week about the struggles facing Oregon's performing arts companies. We'd like to hear from you. Are you willing to go downtown to see a show at the Keller or a concert at the Schnitz? If not, what needs to change to make that feel okay? And how would you feel if Portland's performing arts companies had to pack up and leave downtown? Send us an email, will you? You know we like to incorporate your thoughts into our stories, and we will and we do. The address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090.